really showcases the connection that Australian investors and the wider investment community here has with Africa. So having the exposure to a new pool of investors through the ASX is certainly very valuable as we come to develop an asset like Dockway.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Ariana Resources CEO Kerim Sener. Kerim, very good to speak with you this morning. What does the ASX listing mean for Ariana, and why was now the right time to proceed with it?
Good morning, Stephen. Yes, very happy to join you. And the ASX listing was obviously something that we were working on for some time. And the timing, as it turned out, is perfect because we're into another very significant rise in the gold price at this particular point in time. There's a lot of investor interest in the sector. The focus that we now have on our African interests at Dockway and Zimbabwe. We've just come through Africa Down Under in Perth through the back end of last week, and that was a very well worthwhile conference to attend as a company, and really showcases the connection that Australian investors and the wider investment community here has with Africa. So having the exposure to a new pool of investors through the ASX is certainly very valuable as we come to develop an asset like Dockway.
How do you see the ASX listing benefiting Dockway specifically, Kerim?
Yes, well, the Australian investors going back some time have been exposed to African exploration and development opportunities. And Australian explorers have been very successful operating through West Africa, through East Africa, and indeed into Southern Africa. Back in the 1990s, there were a number of Australian explorers that were very successful in Zimbabwe, and they've left a very positive legacy in the country. And there's positive memory from those investors and those pools of capital. There are obviously from the Zimbabwean diaspora a number of investors over here that we've been able to liaise with, and that's significant as well. And there's a real understanding of Zimbabwean investment opportunities, particularly in the gold space.
You raised 11 million Australian dollars as part of the dual listing process. How will these funds be deployed?
So the lion's share of the funds will be applied to the development of the Dockway asset as we progress that through the feasibility. So we've already commenced the feasibility work. Some aspects of that we have already been able to announce to the market in terms of the latest mineral resource estimate, the work that we've been underway with Whittle Consulting, among others, and there'll be further updates on that front in due course. We are about to start a drilling program in the not too distant future. We've been going out to tender for the drilling contract, both RC and Diamond. And we're planning to undertake a significant drilling program across both Dokwe North and Dokwe Central. So we've allocated a significant proportion of the budget to that drilling program because it's not only to help firm up those parts of the resource that are currently inferred, so that part of the resource that has not yet made it into a category that could be converted to reserve, but also to undertake some extensional drilling in and around Dokwe North, particularly the new target that we've identified, the arsenic-gold anomaly that we located just to the northeast of Dokwe North. We've allocated about 3,000 meters of drilling into that area, but also in Dokwe Central to undertake extensional drilling along the east-west structure that carries that mineralization. So there are a number of things that we'll be working on, including drilling for metallurgical test work purposes.
Kerim, how does the ASX listing change the dynamic between your Australian and UK investor bases?
I don't think it changes the dynamic at all. In fact, it's an advantage in many ways. There are a number of existing Australian-based investors that were already invested in the Ariana AIM stock. So actually it introduces a degree of flexibility because they have the capability now of converting to CDIs, chest depository instruments. And that is fully fungible both ways. So investors can go from ordinary shares into CDIs and vice versa. It's a very simple process. So all it does really, in the grander scheme of things, is open up or keeps open two pools of potential capital, London and Australia.
And the next key milestones for Ariana?
So all eyes should be focused on Zimbabwe at the present time. There'll be a lot of news coming out on the Dockway project in the weeks and months ahead, as we continue to progress the feasibility study, kicking off with the drilling program.
Well, Kerim, I hope you'll keep us updated with progress on that. Thank you very much for taking the time today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Stephen.
Ariana Resources CEO Kerim Sener.